Alright everybody, welcome back. It's the Electric Boyscout again. Looks like you guys are back in time just to witness random explosions.
Farming's as honest
Now you're
as
probably
honest
looking
work
around
gets.
going, what happened to the castle? This is not a castle build. Well, in my last video, I was beginning to explain an easy way or the best way to build an uneven ground. And since I have this settlement here, that's desperately in need of beds, because in all my other settlements, all I've done is I've given them all what I considered to be the bare essentials, but it would seem that I've neglected this one. Apparently I've taught them to fly. There we go. So over in this area here, I thought we would build a very, very simple and basic residence. Just the essentials. And to show you guys how you would do something that looks good in this kind of uneven space here. And what I've noticed about this particular settlement, and careful, spoiler alert, the location of this one is the country crossing. There's a lot of other things around. This settlement seems to have a lot of activity. With random spawns, lots of fights. So I'm going to build a nice residence, but it's also going to provide like a funnel point, as I was explaining in my first video. Because this road, as I said, most of the invaders will always come down the road, and this place is like surrounded by road. So what I want to do is I want to separate this settlement from this area over there, which I believe I've cleared out, but there's still like random insects and super mutants spawning from there.
What the?
So you may see this settlement end up in lots of fights,
So quiet.
but they desperately need
out
some beds for sure, because I have 11 people and only 2 beds. So let's get started. Of course, I always like to start with a foundation, because the only construction pieces that will phase into the ground in order to give us a flat surface. And you want to start straight, and when you're building an uneven ground, you want to place your first piece on pretty much what's going to be the highest point of the structure. So there's this mound here that's pretty high. And I was thinking it was going to go from mound to mound. And I think this mound is just a little bit higher. So I'm going to start it here. So we'll place our first piece. We'll place it low. And as far as straightness goes, I think I'm just going to eyeball it here. Just going to go try to straighten it to the green fog that shows the boundary line from where I can build. So I want it to follow the road. I want to block some of the vision from the road, causing any invaders to have to walk the long way around this building to keep my settlers safe and create a funnel point. So we're going to go ahead and place that first piece. I'm not too fussy this time, because I'm not trying to line it up with a giant pre-existing structure. I'm just going to lay down a row of foundations. I'm also lacking in steel, so I hope I have enough steel to complete this building. And I'm going to make it really long. I think that's pretty good. So with very little effort and thought into it, this settlement has just grown on its own. And it may just naturally become a very successful settlement, because it's also one of the few settlements that has a water source. Off in the corner there's actually a little lake or a little pond, where a lot of settlements, they don't have access to water, they just use the water pump. Now I put just a regular electric water pump, but I should probably upgrade it as well. Alright, is this settler going to cause us an issue? I'm afraid if I'm afraid if I build on top of her, she's gonna get stuck there. So we're just gonna actually, I'm gonna have her move to our castle, because our castle could always use more settlers. I have been working on the castle. I do have some things to show you. I just didn't feel like I had enough done to actually show you, and I am gonna save some building for us. So if you have any suggestions or ideas for the castle build, feel free to comment below, and we'll see what we can do. Or if you want to see me try to build something too, you want to throw a challenge at me, by all means go nuts. Would also appreciate any likes or shares that you throw at me too. Okay, so here's a very simple, keeping it square, because square is easy, kind of a basic foundation, and it's nice and flat, so it's really going to be easy to build on. And because the foundation fades, you can see that we can now totally see the actual shape of the land, because the top of the foundation is so flat. Now, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna get some walls next. Now, I should have a lot of walls pre-built, but it would appear that my supply lines aren't completely active. So it looks like I'm still discovering exactly how the supply lines function. I think they actually work in like a real time, so when you start a supply line, you have to wait until the settler arrives at the next camp for the first time. So I'm really worried I'm going to run out of materials before I finish this video. So let's see what's the cheapest thing I could make out of steel as far as walls go. Wow, that's a real expensive wall. These walls are not cheap, interestingly enough. Wood is not an issue. Steel is an issue. 9 steel. These corner pieces. So it looks like any wall is going to take 4 steel at least. Or more. So, in the interest of keeping it simple, I'm just going to go ahead and use these walls. I know everybody's using these walls, so the reason people are using these walls is they're simple, they're clean, and they snap nice. Maybe we'll provide them, I'll splurge a little and give them one really good wall. I'm not going to have enough steel, but that's okay. I'll show you guys how to get more steel by scrapping your weapons and armor. Okay, so I've gone ahead now, and I've made a nice, secure, simple wall on the roadside. So any invaders traveling the road here will be forced to either go around, because I don't think they can crawl underneath, and when they come around this way, it funnels a little bit. And as you can see, I've got some defenses up already that I can move into a slightly better position, and they will be forced to fight. Or if they come through this way, again, they will be forced to group up a little bit and cluster up, giving my machine gun turrets a better chance. Because they fire short bursts and then they reset and then choose a new target. They don't necessarily focus a target until it's dead. So if you have your enemies funneled into a pile in one spot, it's a lot easier for the machine gun turrets to get a kill. So I've left this opening here because I'm going to go ahead and splurge a little bit on some steel. Let's see here. We'll give them, I like this wall a lot because it's like the only closest thing to a window. And then of course we'll go grab the little half wall to close off the sides. Actually, no, that's not gonna work. I had an idea that it might be a little fun, but it wouldn't work. So grab a little half walls to just make sure it's safe. So now they have some vision. Not that I'm sure that there's many settlers coming up here and checking things out. They obviously don't check their own security. Okay, so let's finish our wall all the way around. La-di-da. Alright, and then we leave a space here for a doorway, naturally. No. So this grass is a little annoying, but it's Fallout. I'm surprised there isn't more weeds and grass growing inside their buildings with the way they're built. So there we have our doorway. Solid, simple, straight structure all the way around. Nothing too complicated, but it's going to be highly functional. And now, I see a lot of people doing this move here, where if they've actually taken the time to build foundation, they will grab a ladder, like so, and they will simply connect it. Oh, that one doesn't even reach. They'll connect it to the bottom of their doorway and leave it at that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just aesthetically, the pain in the butt part of it is once you put a door on there, and then you climb the stairs and open the door, you end up falling off the stairs, and it's really annoying. So what I always like to do is, once again, I come to my little half floors, and just to be different, we're going to use one of these uglier ones. I like to do the half floors, like so. Build a stoop, if you will, almost like a mini porch. In fact, if you wanted to have real fun with it, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't make that a little bit bigger and even add like a railing around it. So we go back to our stairs now. And I like to do it like this here. So we put this stoop, stairs, and I'll go here and do this, and there you have it. It's really simple, but it looks good. I'm not gonna have enough steel to make beds if I do finish this building, but that's okay. There's always more steel to find. I can scrap some weapons or armor if I have to. So now I have to choose a roof. These roofs, I don't want to build it to show you, but you notice the corners are cut out. And you're probably wondering, why are the corners cut out? Well, best as I can figure is, if you don't build a completely square building and you have an odd corner, this roof will fit on that corner. So if you used, let's say, 3 of the small floors, and then somehow built some wall around that, this could be a roof for that. Another thing that I found you could do is you could build it in such a way that where you end up with a hole in your roof. So let's say you wanted to put your communications tower indoors, but you wanted to have the top of it sticking out to the top of your roof, you could totally do that. I haven't done anything with it myself, but so that's actually a pretty cheap roof right here as far as steel goes, because they use the sheet. And like I said, it's just how it looks. It really doesn't make a difference. Like, the rain's not going to come through. Your settlers aren't going to complain that their roof leaks or looks stupid. It's just how you want it to look. And it's Fallout. And I always tend to gravitate towards the cleaner, more finished looking steel pieces, but we're gonna go ahead, and since this is a sleeping quarters, we're gonna use rocket chips for the roof. And it's cheaper on the steel, and you'll notice I'm rotating my pieces because I'm giving my roof a peak. Just like that, keeping it simple, making it quick, because this isn't a main settlement, this is just me trying to give them basic essentials. I find that getting to 10 or more population is relatively easy if you give them just what they need, not necessarily what you think they should have. And there, we've just run out of steel. But I think it looks pretty good. It's simple, it's functional. You got lots of space for beds inside. It's real easy to get in and out of. Actually looks really neat from the outside, I think, with the rocket ship sheet roof. And now we need to figure out what we're gonna do about getting some more steel. Well, here's what we're gonna do. Let's check out what I have in here. So it would appear that this workshop is very lacking. So the supply lines either haven't reached or they're not working right. Like I don't have any weapons or apparel whatsoever in here. What do I have on me for weapons? I don't have a lot. But that would explain why I ran out of material here. And it would seem that you only get a limit to how many supply lines you can send to a certain spot. So what I mean is here's the Starlight Drive-In, and you see all the lines coming to the Starlight Drive-In. I think I've maxed out the amount of supply lines that I can send to or from the Starlight Drive-In. Now what's really weird is I do have one going to the Country Crossing. Or is it going to Abernathy Farms, maybe? It's interesting. In any case, let's travel to the Starlight. Fast travel there, where I know I've got a big stockpile of weapons. Oh, I know. Wait, nope. Doesn't make sense. Coffee. Yeah, I don't know why my weapons aren't over there. Maybe someone could offer some advice as to what's going on with that. So here comes all my supply lines with no people guiding them. It's really sad the pathing they use.
I used to be scared of super
lines.
mutants,
They just seem
but
to
we
go
taught them a
everywhere.
lesson this time.
There's a provisioner there. I don't know. See, now I'm stuck.
Not much care for good neighbor.
So let me see if I
I
can...
want to trade a few things. Go ahead.
So I can still talk to her because she's still one of my settlers.
Yeah?
Let's see
Farm's not much.
if I can change
But
her
it's something.
supply line. So... I can't seem to tell her to go somewhere else. There's no settler. Country Crossing. So he's clearly heading to the Green Top Nursery. I'm gonna change him to Country Crossing. Now, let's just see what happened now. Where's the Green Top Nursery? Should be over here. So they still have a supply line. Wow, they have 17 people over there. My settlements have just exploded in population, yet I can't get Sanctuary to do anything. Yeah, for 17 people, I should have paid attention to that one too. But that's okay. Limited time today. So we're going to go ahead and scrap some weapons. I scrapped some armor earlier
Anything I can
before I
do?
started recording.
You just say the word.
And while I was
Those
doing
uglies will
that, I
think
kind of
twice
wrecked
before
my
messing with
crafting
us
station,
again.
but that's
Crops
okay.
coming in.
So we go into the transfer, and we're going to scrap some weapons because we get the best steel from weapons. Now what I like to do is I like to sort it by damage, because all I really care about is how much damage my weapons do. And I'll start to take these weapons. So we're not going to scrap a minigun, but the submachine guns for sure, even though they're worth a whole lot of money. The walking cane isn't going to give us any steel, so we're just going to leave that alone. We're just going to scrap anything, basically. Here's my legendary wrench, breaks legs. We're basically going to scrap anything that's like under 30 damage. And I know I've grabbed a couple that were over 30, but that's okay. And we'll do the same thing under apparel. We need a lot of steel here, so sort it by damage. I scroll to the bottom because that's where the lowest defensive stuff is going to be. Still some pretty high. Some of this stuff's still pretty good. You may be laughing at me or disagree completely as to what I consider to be good, but for the way I'm building my character, the way I like to play, and based on the armor I have found, anything that gets any stat above 10 is pretty good. Like, I should be really using that. 17, that's pretty good. Alright, it would appear I don't really have... Let's go check junk, since I know my supply lines weren't really working. It's very possible that I just have a whole pile of steel sitting right here. Screws, shot glass. Every settlement needs a shot glass. So, I don't see any steel. Which is kind of interesting. I got so much silver and gold, and I still don't know what to build with it. TV dinner trays and surgical trays are a great source of aluminum, by the way. So if you're ever looking for aluminum, typewriters are also very good to collect. Alright,
Pretty good.
we're gonna have to do
Carry something before you cripple yourself.
what we can with what we have. So, go back into our inventory now, and then we go to weapons. And like I said, I've renamed everything in such a way that I put a slash in front of my name, so everything comes up alphabetical. So I always know where my good weapons are. So I'm not really too worried that I might accidentally trash something that was of great value. And then we'll start to drop all this. We'll drop it, and we'll drop it. And just keep dropping. Sledgehammer. I'm not gonna drop any of my grenades or mines. Oh, I don't remember finding that, but we are not gonna scrap a weapon that good. We will definitely scrap that. And that. And those for sure. Nope, nope. Yep. I don't know if these boards will provide any steel, but we don't need them anyways. My railway rifle. An automatic laser pistol, institute pistol, 10mm auto pistol. And that's the end of that. So we go to tab, we've made a giant mess. We go into construction view. I really do kind of wish there was an easier way to do this, like just to scrap items right from the workshop, but unless I've completely missed it, which is absolutely possible, this is really the only way to do it. So we're gonna get a lot of nice parts because I've got the scrapper perk. So that's really gonna be good. Well, yeah. So I've got a little macro key here that I use for scrapping and for storing. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real fast. Did I miss anything? No. Really quickly, I'm gonna fix this. Just go here. Structures, floors, cement foundation. There's my foundation I accidentally stored earlier. We'll put this right back. And we'll put this right back where it was. Sort of. There we go. It's not kind of crooked, but there you have it. So let's come out of that. We'll go in here. And in here, under junk, we should have lots of steel now. Well, lots? No. Steel has become probably the rarest of the common building materials for me right now. Steel, steel. There it is. I think that's going to be enough for us to build at least. Can I carry that much steel? I can. Good stuff. I'm just going to bring it with me in case this spline doesn't work. So let's go back to Country Crossing. Green top, Country Crossing. Finish our roof, throw some beds, slam a door on that puppy, adjust some defenses, and they should be in good shape. I was doing some questing last night, and I was trapped in a sequence. And during this sequence, one of my settlements came under attack. I'm just going to go ahead and sleep because I hate working in the night. And there's no way out of the sequence. I had to finish the sequence. By the end of the sequence, it said I was unsuccessful in defending this settlement. And I went back to the settlement today. And what I had discovered was I still had a population, even though my Pip-Boy showed me that population was 0. But everything was damaged. My generators were broken, my machine gun turrets were all busted, and I had to repair everything. It wasn't expensive to repair though. It was almost like I was thinking, oh, I'm really screwed. I completely lost the settlement. I'm gonna have to go back and fight for it back and then start over. But really all that seemed to happen was I had to spend like 1 steel and 1 oil and repair a generator, and that was it. And it was like everything was back to normal. It was really strange. It didn't feel like I had failed anything. It felt kind of more like, go ahead and neglect your settlements all you want. It doesn't really matter. The punishment did not fit the crime. I should have had to like fight for it back, or I mean that would have been actually kind of fun even. Like I felt bad. It was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to go take the settlement back again, and who knows what it could have been. It could have been super mutants, and super mutants just don't die that fast. 1 super mutant's easy, but you got more than 1, and then you got a real problem when all you're carrying around is a sniper rifle. But nope, all I had to do was repair a generator, repair some machine gun turrets, and all the people were still there. They were a little mad at me. They were like, we asked for Minutemen help and you didn't come. So maybe there's a long-term effect that's going to happen if I continue to neglect. But in any case, if you see that message, just know that it doesn't seem like it's going to be the end of the world. I wonder... This shouldn't work. I thought maybe I could put like a little roof here. Here the answer would be no. No, you can't. That's kind of weird. Alright, so here we have it. Simple, straightforward, no fuss, and level. And now we are going to add some beds. How much steel do I have? I personally like these beds. I have lots of steel. So I'm going to go ahead and just straight along the wall add some sleeping quarters so I can get more settlers. And we will... Everybody gets their own bed now. And we'll upgrade the water system for them as well, because they're right on the edge of having enough water.
Missy!
Now, if you really wanted to, in between each bed, you could put a nightstand and then use that to space them properly. I kind of just chucked a bunch of beds down. I have time restraints for today. But, you know, I might come back someday and add some end tables in between each one and then space them all accordingly and add some lighting perhaps. But I'm not going to worry about that today. No settler ever complained about it being too dark at the settlement, so you don't need to do it. As far as bare essentials go, all they want is a bed, fresh water, food, and to be safe. They don't really care if they're cold. They don't care what the rooms look like or how bright they are. In fact, I've never even had anybody complain that they want a door. But I'm going to give them a door whether they want it or not. I'm just going to give them a crappy door with holes in it. There we go. They never close the doors anyways. In fact, I just realized that now when they open this door, they're only going to be able to access from one side. Like, you can't walk through, so that side is kind of useless because they never close doors. In any case, now they have all the beds they could possibly want for a while. Unless I get another baby boom here. We are going to store this water filtration system. Not going to scrap it. Just going to store it. And we're going to go to our resources tab. Grab ourselves a nice big boy. And we're going to have some power issues as well. Minor issue, however, I think I got enough materials for a nice big generator. So we're going to store this generator as well. Don't worry, settlers will not be that angry about missing some power for a moment. And we go to our powers tab. Get another big generator. Big, loud, annoying generator. I hate that, so we're going to do it. Of course, as you may have guessed, gonna add a foundation. But we'll do it nice. We'll do a nice. Nah, screw it. I'm not gonna give them a cement one. Cement's way too rare right now. If anything, I'm having more issues finding cement than I am steel. But we're gonna put the generator way out here in the water. Based on what I've recently learned about how your stuff can become damaged, there is something to be said about protecting your generators, because if you're going to use any kind of laser turrets, they require electricity, and if your generators can be damaged or go down, then all your defenses would go down. So on that note, I guess what I'm saying is I have a preference to the machine guns with their own built-in generators. But if you insist on building laser turrets and things of that sort that require electricity, I would also recommend having like a machine gun backup next to it. And now we have lots of water, lots of food, lots of power. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the defenses slightly, and if I have any steel left after, I will add a few extra beds, because I think they're going to need a few more to grow on. So as I said, this is now going to function a little more like a funnel point. Whoever's coming down the road and decides to attack here is going to have to come through here. And the settlers, of course, will engage as well. So I'm just going to tuck this guy in next to the building there in the corner. I believe I have another one that I've placed up here. As I said, it's kind of a waste to point it in this direction because no one ever attacks through the fields. They always take from the road. So we're going to go ahead and move this turret over to this corner. We'll put them up on the mound a little bit here to give them some point of view. Actually, I don't like that at all. I like my turrets to be able to see each other. Now they're kind of far apart, so I guess it's irrelevant. I like the turrets to see each other so that if one's getting attacked, the other one can kind of defend it. But I'll rely on the settlers to do that. And I'm going to go ahead, because I haven't done it for you guys yet, but I'm going to build a couple guard posts. Because they will add a small amount of defense. And it will also give me something to assign a settler to. So I'm going to place one there. By the way, you don't have to assign the settlers. I see so many videos of people like trying to assign a settler to do something and the settler doesn't seem to move or go anywhere and they get all mad. Why aren't you going there? If you leave the settlers alone, they will find their own stuff to do. They will fill in the need. They will go where they need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and add another machine gun turret here. I'm really going to town on the defenses in this place. I don't know why. I guess just to show you guys what I think is strong. It's like I said, protect yourself from the road. I'm going to add another one here. Nope. I'm going to move him back. Because as I said, I like my turrets to have view on each other. Right? So those two turrets can see each other. Those two over there can see each other. And I'll come back another time and I'll outfit him with some armor. I don't know if I have armor now on me.
You hear
or a
about
weapon
that
at all.
farm run by ghouls? Isn't that something?
Let's see. I'm gonna
Lost
talk to
track.
this
Let's
guy.
how many
trade some
blisters I
things.
got. Okay.
And in my inventory, do I have any weapons? He's not getting that. Do I have any armor? All those one-piece armors that you find are really good to put on your settlers because it's just easy. Okay, I'll outfit them another time. But you can give them armor and weapons. I'll show you guys how to do that next time. But for now, I'm going to command this guy. So I hit the letter, I look at him, I hit the letter E for command. Then you walk over to a structure, then you say assign. And then you'll see in the top left-hand side corner it says
Thought I heard you
this
pacing
resource is
around
now
last night.
assigned.
Everything
Sometimes
okay?
you'll hear the settler
Just
agree.
a bad dream.
So this
Something about
man,
a death claw tearing up the
command
place.
him,
Couldn't stay asleep
and
after
bring
that.
him over here, and we assign him to that. Oh, as you can see, someone's already been assigned to it, so now he's assigned to it instead. But the settlers, they find their own stuff to do. I'm gonna bring this turret back just a hair so that it's got sight on the other turret. I like my turrets to see each other. This thing is in such an awkward spot. I'm gonna go ahead and move it over here. Oh, apparently I cannot move it, so it can go back. And I think that's pretty much it. I will show you one more thing before I add some beds to finish off the whole place, because I'm sure I'm going to get a large increase in population with everything that I've done here. Someone was asking me, how did I get this cow? Well, I didn't do anything to get this cow. I find once a population gets around 10, they just randomly show up into your camp. The only real problem with them is they're not afraid to go anywhere. They will go anywhere they please. So what you want to do is, once you get one, as soon as you get one, you really don't want to let them roam around, because they'll end up inside your residences and they'll end up stuck underneath your buildings, and it's really frustrating. So what you want to do is you want to go to your resources tab, and under miscellaneous, I'll show you a couple miscellaneous items here before I finish this video. You'll see this, the Brahmin feed trough. Now, what you do is if you place this trough anywhere, you just place it, it doesn't even need to be near him. Like, you could place it, I'll even show you, I'll place it way over here. But the second you place one, after you have a Brahmin, he's coming, like, and that's where he's going to stay. He's pretty much just going to stay near here. You don't have to feed him or do anything. What I have done in the past is, you know, apparently he's glitched out now. He doesn't like the placement of that there. What I have done in the past is that, you know, once he starts feeding out of the trough, I'll fence him in, and then that'll be the end of that. A second miscellaneous item I'd like to show you that I don't see too many people using properly, or at all, that I think would help everyone, and I'm going to build a bunch of them right now, is the scavenging station. So what you want to do is, in this building, I'm going to put a couple extra scavenging stations. So one here, and we're going to put one right here. I'm really not worried about this building or these scavenging stations looking too good. I'm going to go ahead and we got a radiation storm. Those are always fun. Okay, so that's being used, so I can't, because I placed it in kind of a silly spot. So I'm going to assign him to a new scavenging station.
Sure.
So I can now grab this one and move it away from the wall. I'll find this work better. Completely on a wall. This side, the big side, is the steel side. Is the side that the settler's going to work. Now, I like to make sure I assign settlers to those, because I'm not completely convinced that they'll assign themselves. And what's going to happen is now, as this settlement grows, and as you're away doing other things, see, she's
Well, I
like
hope they
good fit
stick
of
around for
herself
good
and
this
stuff
time.
already.
We need them.
They're going to continue to gather resources and materials. They'll find their own steel, their own wood, and it will automatically get added to your workshop, and you won't need to worry about it anymore. I just need to find one more settler. There we go. You don't look too busy. Follow me, ma'am. And assign. And there you have it. 3 assigned scavenging stations. Resettlement should have at least one. When I get settlements that are above 10, I've been putting like 3 of them because there really isn't that much work for them to do, and I'm always hurting
Word spreading
materials.
all over the Commonwealth. The Minutemen are back. They've even
And,
set up
I've
a
explained
radio
the
station
Brahmin,
to coordinate their
shown you how
efforts.
to scrap weapons and armor, and how to build a simple, straightforward structure on uneven ground. And as I say goodbye, I am going to add some extra beds, a little bit of steel that I have left, because this settlement now, with what I have just provided in a short amount of time, is going to boom, I assure you. We'll start the next video from this settlement so we can see how much it's grown. And with that, I go to bed, and I will make another video shortly where we will continue our castle build. Thanks guys, I'm the Electronic Boy Scout. Peace.